Hi everyone, it's Cookie Lou in Arizona. How is everyone today? It's a beautiful October day, October 2nd, and I had a wonderful day at the Lakeview Recreation Center. That's where I went to do my workout. There's a beautiful lake and a beautiful park with lots of trails that just terrace up into a major hill on the top. And I just walked around that lake about 9 or 10 times until I felt sore. And when I started to feel sore, I think, okay, I think I did about 25-30 minutes of non-stop rotations around this beautiful naturistic lake. It's time for me to sit down, cool off, and go home. And that's what I did. But I had such a good time. It was just so beautiful today. It was a beautiful day. And I'm here now because, as some of you know, I have been using this part of my journey to, I'm going through a certain phase of this journey, as I've talked a little bit about in my prior videos, of trying to obtain a balance, a mental, psychological balance with my relationship with food. I think that's a big part of losing weight, and it's a big part of maintaining our weight loss. It's that is what we need to do from the minute we got off that surgery table. We all realized that we now have to change our lifestyle when it comes to eating. And that's the hardest part for us to do. Many of us have lost massive amounts of weight, and we have maintained the rules of the game until a certain period of time passes, and then we sort of fall off the wagon. We forget the rules of the game, or we no longer want to do the rules of the game, and that's when trouble starts. So, you know, I'm in a situation now where this is my phase of learning how to change my lifestyle, of putting my brain in balance and learning a clean, clear understanding of what the psychology of eating is really all about, and how I relate to food, how we feel our relationship to food really is, you know, how our outlook, our viewpoint of what we're eating and why we're eating and what's in what we're eating, and the mindless eating that we often do and have to stop doing. So I'm going to share with you, I have made some notes in some of the, I've been reading and watching videos about the psychology of food, of psychology of eating, and one of them was based on the title, Food, is food love? Food, yes, food really is love. So I'm going to read this to you because it would just go quicker that way, and hopefully I can read it clearly without stumbling too much. But regarding my understanding of the psychology of food, I think what I need to do to keep focused on having a healthy balance and a healthy understanding of eating is I have to understand from the very beginning of time what happened to me and what happens to many of us to cause us to get out of balance with eating, with food. Okay, so I'm gonna read this to you really quick. Food really is love, is what I titled it. Many of us use food for the substitute of love. If I can't have the love I want, I might as well go to the closest thing that I can that'll give me the comfort and the soothing that I need. When things are difficult in life, at work, in relationships, if you don't have a special someone in your life, and there's holes, and we all have holes, and we usually fill it up with, you know, cupcakes, donuts, pizza. Well, anyway, we all fill up our holes. So when things are difficult in life for us, we go to food. Food is soothing. It's a great substitute. It fixes the stress, the loneliness, the sadness, and the fears that we all experience. And there are many of us that have fears in life, depression in life, stress in life. So it makes perfect sense to use food for love and soothing. Food is pleasurable. It tastes good. It's warm and comforting. From the time that we're born, as infants, our relationship with food is intertwined with mother's touch, with her comfort, her smell, the feeling of being held in her warm arms as we're nursing at her breast or at a bottle, whichever we're fortunate to have. the taste of milk on our tongue. All these sensations are programmed in our brains to associate the nourishment, the good tasting of the food that we're given. It's all programmed in our heads as part of being loved and nurtured. It all comes from food. From the minute that we're out of the womb, forget that. From the minute that we're old enough to realize we have thumbs and tongues in the womb, we're sucking. You know, that sucking sensation, that instinctual need to suck is inbred in us before we're even born. And the first thing that a baby will do when it's being held is it'll search for the breast because it knows that it needs to feed. And I mean, it's instinctual, and it comes with us being human beings. So from the very beginning, we are associating food is touch, food is love, food tastes good, food is love. It's all experienced as the same thing. So from the start, we make the association that food is love. As we get older, our nervous systems become more complex, and we have a way of recreating and involving this experience that, yes, food is love. And I gotta get my pointer here. But however, like I said, as we get older and as the holes get bigger and the depression gets more severe or the emptiness gets a little bit more unbearable, we start to abuse the need for that love by abusing food, and therefore we become obese or sick or something that's not healthy. And it all stems from just filling up the holes and abusing eating, because we don't have a healthy balance with understanding what eating is, what food really is. We just say, food makes me feel good, love makes me feel good, and food and love is the same thing, so I'm going to throw it back down my throat till I feel better. However, without a healthy understanding, this can become problematic. It can lead to overeating, guilt, binging, weight gain, emotional eating, shame, and more. We are often told to do our best to avoid these strange behaviors and just to look at food as just food, and love as love, and not get the two confused. But subconsciously, we remember being given rewards of food when we did something good or needed soothing. When we were hurting, what did we get? Mommy gave us a lollipop or a cookie or something that tastes sweet. We remember the dinner table was a place of love and celebration. We remember Grandma and the smells that came out of her kitchen and the cooking that she did for us when we were little, showing how much she loved us, and because she wanted to nurture us with food. We remember the beautiful desserts that were presented at as perfect endings to every dinner. Food, food, food. Food is love. Food is family. Food is celebration. Food is love. Even when we go on a date, usually we'll go to a restaurant or some romantic setting. Courtship and romance often occurs at a table surrounded with food. Love is in the air, love is in the food. Again, food and love intertwines, and it makes perfect sense to associate food with love. But we can hunger too much for the missing things in life and abuse ourselves with food. So in reality, food really is love. And it's good to experience it as such, but in a healthy way, in a mindful, soulful way, by making healthy choices, by thinking of food as love from the earth directly presented to us. Think of food as a gift from nature, as a gift from the trees, from the bees that pollinate, and the wind that receive the earth. It's a gift Mother gives us in the soil, in the sun, in the rain, and all the creatures that become food for the human form. These are the things that nurture us. These are the things that Mother Nature gave us to help us thrive. The food that has no love in it is the toxic junk foods that we often eat. the processed foods that is directly engineered to get us addicted to it, the food that comes from companies who knowingly put toxic chemicals in the food they make that feed us, and they feed the common illnesses we have on the planet. The GMO crops, the animals that are treated unkindly and without care and compassion, the poor quality foods that come from companies that make massive profits yet hold back information, providing the chemical dangers they use in the food that is killing our society. All this is lack of seeing that food is love. All of this is lack of seeing what they're doing to destroy our environment, our children, and our future. We need a lot more understanding that food truly is love and should be respected as such. When we have that understanding in our brain, we can balance out what is truly loving food and what is not loving food. When we can differentiate the two and know what we have to choose to eat to thrive healthy and what we should not eat to constantly reoccur the obesity that we strive so hard to get out of. We have to think of food as a blessing and remember that a thankful prayer used to be said before every meal because it was thought of as a blessing that nurtured us. I know we can break through our eating challenges with food with this belief and develop a healthy balance in our brain that will give us a healthy relationship to the food we eat. When we truly love good food for what it really is, food will love us back. So I hope that made some sense to you and that you got a little something from my psychology of eating, that food really is love, and we have to think of that every time we get up in the morning when we first make our choice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for whatever snack we reach for. We have to remember the food that has love in it and the food that does not have love in it. And choose the loving food every time, my friends. And life will be better for you, for me. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you enjoyed this little class of the psychology of eating, and I hope you got something from it. So much love and hugs and kisses to everybody, and have a great October. Bye.